Hello, adventurers. Lex Gray here. Welcome back to another entry. Today, we are exploring Morter's Travels, episode 14. Let's begin. Currently, we are in Corwood. Our main hero, Morter, is outside the Corwood family mansion with an ally, and that ally is going to be Moss. So, I almost forgot about one thing from the last episode. Hello again. My face is back. And so is my personal flair. Now, I almost forgot about Ellery and our deal. Ellery made a deal with Morter, and that was that she gets the finishing blow, does what she needs to do, take care of Tegan. Tegan, who is, of course, the big bad of the Corwood family crime family. So, do I have to step back in the story and explain Ellery is also tagging along? No. Here's what transpires before we actually get into the mansion. Mortar and Moss are just outside the mansion. Ellery is going to do her thing with a few members of her union, the rebellion, and do their own thing. They're going to we will roll for it once we reach, if we even intersect with their little venture. Damon is going to most likely hold back and stay at a safe distance away and just observe, perhaps as backup. But again, he can't do much. He's just a harbor master. He probably can fight. Maybe he knows some fencing, but I don't think he's as skilled as Ellery or Mortar at this point, or even Moss. So, in this episode, we'll be using the moves. Got everything here. I also have a new microphone. Hopefully, you guys can hear it, or at least it sounds better compared to, you know, fast food drive-through microphone. Okay. Also, I will be trying to zoom out my macro play method of roleplay. Generalization. Just a bird's eye view of what's going on. Not every gritty detail, like the smell, what's around us, where are we, but the generalization. So, let's officially begin. Mortar and Moss have to break into the mansion. What we will do is, again, start fresh. We will gather information. That requires us to roll plus wits, and we can use a bond. My character sheet over here. I do have indeed a bond, Jane's bond, and we are with Moss. She is one of my bonds, so that gives us a +1. Let's now roll on our digital dice tray, and I'll have Moss up here as a reference. She is our bond. So our plus wits is going to be 3. Our bond is a +1. That puts us at +4 total for this roll. And remember, I'm going to be including matches or higher as a hit. Whoops, there we go. Rolling. And we have a 5, so that's 9 total on our roll. And it is a weak hit against that 10 and 3. So weak hit gives us the information complicates your quest or introduce us to a new danger. Envision what you discover and take +1 momentum. So, momentum, I'm currently now at +8. So, pretty darn good. Couldn't reduce that 10, obviously. So, that's off the table. We have to figure out what complicates our breaking into this mansion process. Well, I can certainly ask the Oracle. So, what I'll do is flip to actions and themes that I use a lot and go back to the dice. So, actions we will use in those 2d10s as a d100. That's 29. 29 brings us hold. And then theme will be 18. Direction. Hold direction. Gee, I wonder why. So, Moss probably notices something, but they're going. We knew from earlier that this place was, for some reason, on the outside, not heavily guarded. Ellery was expecting it to be. Everyone generally was. But for some reason, at first observance, it is not heavily fortified or guarded. But, hold direction. Moss sees something unusual. And based on the move from earlier, a weak hit is the information complicates your quest. I'd say a new danger is makes more sense here. She sees a guard. A guard blocking the back door. A door that's not too well known, but because of Moss's resourcefulness, she knew of a way in at first. But there is indeed a guard that is blocking the path, which complicates things. So, with that in mind, we have to now figure out a way to get past that guard. And what this will be is, as I said, this will be zooming out on the narrative, just keeping it generalized, basic. We're going to face danger. That's why I like using the moves. For anybody who wants me to use omnidirection, my omni roll method in another video, feel free to mention that below. Or if you prefer me using the moves, that's fine too. Here to have fun with it. So, facing danger, we attempt something risky. This is a danger. Complication from the prior roll. Let's go ahead and figure out what kind of roll we're going to do. Will this be edge, heart? We have iron, shadow, wits. I think with stealth, it's going to be shadow. That's Moss's and Morter's specialty. So, can I include a bond on this one? Because we're doing it with Moss? I'd say this might be aid an ally, perhaps. That's another move. That's actually a relationship move. An ally, when you secure an advantage in a direct support or an ally, which we're not doing essentially, that actually might help. So instead of face danger, we can prepare. So secure an advantage when you assess a situation, which we are doing. Make preparations or attempt to gain leverage. Envision your action, roll for it. Aid an ally is in the relationship moves page. And when you secure an advantage in direct support of an ally and score a hit, they, instead of you, can take the benefits of the move. Who will take lead here? Is it going to be Morter or Moss? Well, it's Morter's stepmother, so I think Morter's taking lead. So Moss is aiding us, and she's not a player character. She's just an NPC that we are controlling. With that in mind, I'm simply going to give a +1 to the roll, keeping it simple. But I will obviously use Shadow for stealth. But we're going to secure an advantage. And that will be Shadow, similar to Face Danger. But this is pre-Face Danger. So let's roll for it. And like I said, my Shadow's 4, and that +1 based on a bond is +5, which is a hell of a bonus. 2, that's 7. And once again, we have a weak hit. So, a weak hit with secure advantage is your advantage is short-lived, take +1 momentum. And based on that roll, I could not have reduced that 10, which is fine. So I'm bumping up my momentum to 9. And then your advantage is short-lived. So we see that perhaps there is something that Moss attempts to distract the guard. Maybe throw a coin in a direction. Classic Hitman. Just throw a coin, distract the guard. So she attempts to throw a coin and distract the guard. The guard, because it's short-lived, it says here, we didn't get a strong hit. The guard looks, and while he's looking, he then realizes we can check it out, or we can ask the Oracle. I want to see what the guard does here. Keeping the advantage as short-lived, which could mean we need to make this quick. We don't have time to really play this safe. But let's ask the Oracle to see what happens. So going back to, actually, you know what? To make things quicker, I'm going to use my one-page Mythic Oracle, which is equally as useful. So I'm going to roll here. We have 4. That's benefit. And then for description, 25. Benefit empty. Benefit empty. Is this from the point of view of the guard? The guy who's blocking the door? Benefit empty. Does it benefit him? It's empty. Okay, well, let's say he does actually leave his post to explore, to figure out, investigate what that sound was. But again, benefit empty. He can't find out what it is. So while I'm going to say the weak hit, only one of us in time during that time can face danger. So an ally has to remain behind. That's how I'm going to decipher that move. I think it makes sense. So who will take point and who will attempt to knock the guard out? Probably Morter. Moss is great for observing from a distance. Keep an eye out. So do I have any asset cards that can help here? We will face danger here now, but because I rolled a secure advantage weak hit, I'm not going to include an ally. For that case, Moss. We have Duelist, which will be in combat, so that does not qualify. Bladebound. Enter the fray, draw a circle. We're not doing that. Ironclad. We have armor that's basically just for enduring harm. And we have Ward, which does not help either. So, none of these asset cards can help at the moment for face danger. So we're going to face danger, and Morter is going to attempt a stealth and approach an immediate threat. We're attempting something risky. We're attempting, this is not combat. We're attempting to knock out the guard. He does not want to kill him. He wants to knock out this guard from behind. The guard, like the character behind me here, this was actually Hull from the original, I think, picture. He's in the back. Mortar's going to jump down, use a rock, use the butt of his knife or whatever, and knock him out. This is face danger. So, let's roll for it. We're using Trickery, Stealth, which is Shadow, which is +4. Here we roll. And the roll is 5 over that 4 and 2. That's a strong hit. Nice and simple. So, strong hit, you are successful, take +1 momentum. And of course, I'm now at maximum 10. Okay. You are successful, take +1 momentum. We knock the guard out. He falls forward. Moss eventually jumps down. We hide the body. That is Agent 47. That's Hitman Game 101. Always hide the body. Hide it in a dumpster or something. We hide it in a barrel or behind some crates, whatever. Okay, there's the door. We are at the door, and we're about to get inside. Now, while, let's say, Moss is good at lockpicking. Let's go to her bio. I think I put that in. It might have been my original before here. But let's say she is good at lockpicking. Okay. The door is obviously locked. There's no doubt about it. I don't need to ask the Oracle for that. So, she's going to pick the lock. This will be her. Now, does this aid an ally? When we secure an advantage, which we're not necessarily doing. She's doing the work. She's picking the lock. She's sitting there. Nothing. Remember, her deal with us. We have two deals going on. We have Ellery. She's going to go in her own path and take out the boss, Tegan. While Moss's deal out of our little plan here, is to steal whatever she wants. She gets in, she's on her own. So essentially, three individual parties are going to be in the mansion, which might not be the best. Might not be the best advantage, but we do cover more ground. It just we may be susceptible to being alerting to learn the guards because there's three of us snooping around. So we gotta be careful. That might be a question for the Oracle too later on. So she's picking the lock. We are going to stay and be on the lookout for anybody. So what I'm going to do is gather information because we're searching the area. We're conducting investigation, kind of. So this will be a strong, this will be a roll with the bonds because she's there. +1, and we're rolling plus wits, which is +3, so that's going to be 4 total. Let's roll. So while she picks a lock, we are going to stand guard. Okay, that's 6. That's going to be 10 total, which is perfect because we have a 9 and 4. So, thus, a strong hit. Definitely take that. And you discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or action must take to make progress is made clear. Take +2 momentum. I'm out of momentums. I'm maxed out. We've been doing a lot of good rolls, even without matching. So she opens the door. She breaks the lock, or she picks the lock. We go in based on a strong hit, and now we will ask the Oracle what's inside. What do we see? Without getting too crazy on details. Okay, the first thing for action is 70. Let's see. The other D10 is gone. 50. That's going to be fight. Okay. 57. Fight modern. Fight modern. Well, fight is the action, something physical, a physical altercation. Modern, something common, something's expected. Maybe there is a fight that startles us for a moment, but I think it's just some rats because it's a strong hit. Wouldn't it make sense? Like there's just two giant guards standing there who are fighting each other, maybe over a, I don't know, something. So again, it wouldn't make sense for after a strong hit, there's just two guards standing there that see us and they start to fight us in modern, as I perceive it. But I think it's just two rats that startle us. Rats, this is a storage room perhaps, or this is like an entryway, a little hallway. Two rats just kind of bolt out of the room, this entrance that we entered. So they bolt out, they scare us. Scare Morter. I mean, he screams, I don't know. Moss is used to it. She's probably just. But Morter's like, just startles. Or two bats, maybe perhaps. Bats fly out. So fight modern. It's just two rats are fighting over a piece of cheese and they just bolt out. That's it. That's how I perceive it. So we are going to enter officially the mansion. We are in some kind of access point on the first floor. So we enter. There's a door at the end. The door is open. We open the door. Moss opens the door a bit. She peeks around. And now we'll roll what we see in the next room, which will be the following. Okay, 77. That's object. Description will be 87. Rustic. Perhaps it's a room of old collectible items. ancient items, weapons, supplies, old rustic, object rustic. Yeah, this is a room of weapons. My supply is a +5. Moss is like, he's all giddy. This is it. It's exactly what you needed. This is what, this was the purpose of coming in here. And Mortar's like, already? Like, am I gonna go on from here? Am I gonna go on here from here myself? And Mortar's like, mm-hmm. I like this. This is literally a room of treasure. Look at that knife. Oh, that's a beautiful shield. Oh my god. And she's like going to basically do her thing in the second little room when we got into the mansion. So that back door was an entrance to this little storage room. And there's again, there's just weapons. There's armor, there's supplies, stuff like that. So she's just giddy. She's running around trying to, and then Mortar's a little concerned. He's like, "Well, there goes my help. I mean, he's on his own." So he tells Moss, "I guess I'll go from here." And she is, she's a friend, so she kind of calms down for a bit. She's like, "Look, just stick to the corners, lay low. If this place was lacking guards on the outside, expect a heavy, perhaps, in the inside." So she's advising that it was deceptive, it was deceiving on the outside, not a lot of guards, so just the one guy at the door, not a lot of patrolmen in the area. They're not expecting this, but they could be. So let's ask the Oracle. This is just a straight up question. Are there going to be a lot of guards inside the mansion? 50% chance. 50% chance. That is a no. That's a That's why I love the D100 roll. You can interpret the distance from the percentage. It's a 53, so that's a no. It's a very, very weak no. So I'm going to say that there is a modest amount of members of Corwood family walking around or in their respective locations, their post, standing guard, but not a lot to be worried about. Mortar thinks that, you know what? I don't think there's going to be a lot of them walking around. Just stay low, vigilant, the corners, and head downstairs. You heard what Ellery said, or she heard what Ellery said. She wasn't. I don't think she was such a part of the conversation from the last episode. I can't remember. But all that matters is to stay low, remain vigilant, focused, and go get downstairs. Find a stairwell that leads downstairs. If it's a dungeon of sorts or a hatch. There you go. So Mortar Moss is officially on her own. She's going to gather up. She helped. She helped us get into into the mansion. And she did her part. I mean, does she actually leave? We can assume later. Now, this will be a perhaps an update to our a waypoint. We're not journeying. We're not journeying across the lands. We are doing another waypoint. So I'm going to roll plus wits. And based on the roll, I'm going to narrate how that roll outcome works out. So plus wits will be, let's see. We have a bond plus wits. That's going to be 4 total. So let's go to our dice and roll for the next waypoint. Waypoint could be the bathroom, could be the foyer, who knows. Okay, so 4, that's going to be, wow, 9. Rolling really well today. 9 over those 2. So it is a strong hit. I'll take it. So a strong hit means you reach your waypoint. We'll get that in a second. Might use the one-page mythic for that. And if the waypoint is unknown, I have an idea for what it is. Envision it. Then choose one. Make good use of your resources. Mark progress. You move at speed. Mark progress and take plus momentum, which we can't do, but suffer -1 supply. Well, I'll just do the progress, keeping it simple. So, here we go. I'm going to mark progress for take Ellery to Tegan, which we did. So, her little journey is on hold. I just realized this. So, extreme I think I probably should change that, but for extreme, it's 2 ticks. I'm going to actually update this to formidable. We're here, we're in the mansion, but something else could be awry here. Something else could be wrong here. Maybe the mother is not downstairs. Hmm. I'm going to downgrade it to formidable, which is 1 box per progress, just for now. And I will mark a box based on that strong hit. So now we have 5 boxes left. I just have a feeling something is amiss here. This is too easy. This is way too easy. Okay, well, let's figure out what happens. What is the waypoint? So let me just ask the Oracle here. The action will be 9 burden. Okay. 2 beautiful. Oh, actually 2 is artificial. Something, even though it's a strong hit, something that's a burden and artificial. Okay. Well, I'm thinking of the room that, not the movie, the room in the scenario where maybe it was a slight burden for our character, for Morter to get to, but he got to a location that has access to downstairs. Artificial. This was actually added in later when the mansion was built, when it was already built. So it's not a stairwell, it's a hatch. Maybe it's a hidden access point or something, but he finds a hatch. Wherever the room is, he finds a hatch, and we have to figure out if the hatch is locked. Let's ask the Oracle. 75% chance that, well, this is not the only way downstairs. I'm assuming there's like a master staircase that goes downstairs somewhere else in the mansion. We are using the opportunity we are using another alternate route. So let's ask the Oracle, is this hatch locked? I'm going to say 75% chance it is. And looks like the 6 is more to the left, so I'm going to say 65. It is locked. Well, Moss is not here to pick a lock, so we'll have to pick it ourselves. Or break the lock. Anyways, we are facing danger. This will be risky. It could go wrong. So, I'm going to roll for, let's say, is he going to try to break the lock or pick it? Do we have any lock picks? I think Moss probably gave us 1 or 2, perhaps. So, this will be trickery, insight, expertise. This will be wits. So 3, no bond, because she's not here. So we're rolling wits, which is +3, to pick this lock ourselves. Okay. Now, 5, 6, 7, the match does help. And I can, indeed, get this into a strong hit. But I have a momentum of 10. I can easily make this into a strong hit. But I want this to be interesting. It's been too easy. It's been too easy. Which could be a good thing for this game. Ironsworn can be very difficult or deadly. But I want to make this a weak hit. We haven't had a weak hit. I don't think we have had a weak hit this game episode. Anyways, let's make a weak hit. So weak hit, based on that, again, that roll right there, we have 3. So 5, 6, 7, we matched. Using my house rule, matches do count. Normally they don't. Okay, so weak hit, you succeed but face a troublesome cost. Choose one. You are delayed, lose advantage, or face a new danger, suffer -1 momentum. You are tired and hurt, endure harm. I don't think so. You are dispirited or afraid, endure stress. Maybe. You sacrifice resources to picks. It takes, okay, I like that one. It takes a few attempts. We break the lock, but it took all the picks, so we're down one supply. That's probably the least riskiest one. I probably said this before, but it's probably the least riskiest one for this moment. So, we open the hatch. It perhaps creaks open. That might have been a miss. Maybe, or we got spotted, but it's a weak hit. It creaks open, and we look down. There is, well, that's the Oracle. Is there a light source down there in the dungeon? In some holding cell, little prison? I'm going to say 50-50. I just don't know. So that is, oh, wow. Okay. 10 is a strong, very strong, yes. There is indeed a flickering light. Very bright. It's probably 10 feet down, perhaps not a very deep climb. So Mortar is going to carefully, slowly go down these steps. Now, he needs to secure an advantage here because there could be anyone down there. Let's ask the Oracle. Is there anyone down there? Based on the earlier rolls and the assumptions, I'm gonna say 25% chance. And maybe just in this part of the dungeon. 25% chance there's anybody down there. We're basically setting the scene here. Nope. It is vacant. There's nobody down, at least in this. That's a strong no, too. There's nobody down there. The light is just a torch, a sconce on the wall, just a regular torch. So he gets down there. He slowly listens, just to make sure nothing is. You can hear anyone? Doesn't hear anyone. No secure advantage needed because there's no one here. It is just another room that he climbs down. He looks around. It's pretty empty looking storage room. Maybe some crates, maybe a desk, some notes. So he's looking around and he sees a cell door that goes into the main, perhaps the main hallway into the dungeon. And remember, we're still in Corwood. So he walks up to that door. And the door, if we are inside a room, we can unlock it ourselves. So the jail cell, it looks like a jail cell door, but it's a solid, let's say it's a solid iron door with a window. So he's trying to avoid a window. He's going to look up, peek, and this will be face danger because I'm assuming there is somebody behind that door or in the hallway. So we're rolling and attempting something risky to look through this little window. His head just peeks up like this to see if there's anybody behind in that room. This will be stealth. So shadow, which is +4. There's no bonds considered. Let's roll for it. +4. Okay, that's going to be, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we match. I think that's a 7. We match, but I'm going to make this a strong hit. So I take, in my house for momentum, which I will use, I use my momentum as a pool. I can spend momentum to increase my roll post result. So the result was 7. I spend 3 momentum to make that down to 7, and the roll is now a strong hit. It's definitely OP in some respects, but maybe in the next episode we can go back to using the traditional method. You pay the momentum to decrease to change a die to a hit. You know what? Let's do that. I think that's way OP for this moment. So yeah, that was a 10. So what we'll do is take the 10 momentum all the way down to the reset, which is also fair, to +2. And reset to +2. We'll do that. I apologize about the inconsistencies, which is very common in my channel, but we will do that. So a strong hit, you are successful, take +1 momentum. Okay, so I get +3. And I see something. Let's roll to see what we see. Let's roll to see what we see. Perfect. That should be a shirt. Okay. Rolling on my discovery meeting table in the one-page mythic. 93, which will be stop. Okay, that's the action. 1. Artificial. I'm going to roll again where we got that. Oh, I'm sorry. There's no other dice. 39, I think that is. Stop heavy. There is a huge guard, a prison guard. He stop heavy. Stop, meaning he's not moving. He's sitting down, heavy. Maybe he's a heavy sleeper. He's a big guy. He's just like this, like me, snoring and sitting back on a chair. And there's like keys on the table or on his belt. He's just sitting there snoring like that. He's sleeping. Heavy, stop. So the heavy two ways. He's a big guy and he's sleeping. He's a heavy sleeper. And stop meaning he's not moving around. He's sitting down. That's all I interpret. So we see this like this. Morter's like, oh, that's convenient. So he goes back down, and there's nothing else he saw. Just saw the guy sleeping. Maybe there's a couple cell doors that are dimly lit, so not enough to really catch a glimpse of if his mother's there. So he opens the door very carefully, and does the door creak? Let's ask the Oracle. Does this door creak? Iron door, I'm going to say 75% chance it does. Ooh, okay, it does. So we open the door, it creaks, and this will be another roll. I'm sorry, a lot of rolls today, but that's the beauty of this game. We're facing dangers and risky to opening this door. This will also kind of be like asking the question, asking an oracle question, yes or no. I'm going to combine the move with an oracle question. So, we're attempting something risky and we're opening the door. So let's just say this move is opening the door that's an iron door, so it's going to creak, make a noise. So we're rolling precision, perhaps? Yeah, precision. Roll edge, which is +3. No bonds, so it's a +3 roll. Okay. Oh, wow. 9. Oh, my gosh. 9 on matches. Wow. With my house rule, I just saved Morter's life right there. That moment. Just clarifying here. 2 9s. Yep, with a total of my 9 roll. Which means it's a strong hit, technically, of my house rule, so I take +1 momentum, but also there is a plot twist that is in our favor. So I'm going to actually use the plot twist in the book and let you guys know what my result will be. So let me go back to the dice and I'll tell you guys. Major plot twist happens in our favor. The plot twist is 25. A secret alliance is revealed. A secret alliance is revealed. Well, it could just mean that we see someone we recognize, familiar. And so Mortar's there. The door creaks open a little bit, not as loud because of that strong hit. So, but when he opens the door, he sees someone familiar. And I won't say if it's his mom or stepmother or not. I won't say if it's what's her name? I almost forgot her name. I think it was Glara. So I won't say if it's Glara or not. It could be someone else. And I'm going to end the episode right here. Because I feel that that's a comfortable cliffhanger. So as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys oh yeah, that's right. I have a whole outro. Well, that's all for today. Hope you've enjoyed this telling. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Most importantly, comment. And I'll see you in the next one.